Hi, for libertyandeconomics.com, I'm Nick Sorrentino. So, why do people want to own precious metals? Lots of folks, their investing experience basically is in their IRA or their 401k, and they basically know mutual funds or barely know mutual funds. And why would they put their money in these metals? Well, um, what, let me preface this by saying that we have seen a precipitous decline in the dollar value of gold, silver, palladium, and platinum here in the past week or so, which has been interesting. And that's really for another post. But I want to talk about the philosophical reasons for owning gold and silver specifically. Um, Gold and silver are loathed by central banks. Central banks are all about creating money out of nothing, right? So, social programs can be created as long as people buy, so to speak, that the paper dollar in their wallet is actually worth something. Central banks can create whatever the hell they want. They can just pour these dollars out into the system, and the politicians are happy because that means that pet projects can be funded, social programs can be funded, essentially with very little cost. There's nothing, it's just paper. And so long as the general population buys that this paper is valuable, it works. Social Security works, um, Medicaid works, Medicare works, stock market works. It all works so long as everybody says that it works. The problem is when there are people who start saying, you know what, this is really just paper. I don't think that there's really any foundation to it. And, hey, I'm just one person, but I'm opting out. I'm saying enough. And I'm going to start putting some money into something that's held value over the centuries and millennia. Gold. That is a direct shot right at the central banks in the current system. People who own gold, there's a reason why FDR, um, people who own gold, I believe it was 1933, the federal government made it illegal to own gold, to quote unquote hoard gold. They confiscated the gold. They took gold from everyday people. And I believe at the time gold was priced at about $23 an ounce. Once they took all the gold, what they did is they turned around a year later and they priced gold at $35 an ounce. So they stole gold from people, their real wealth, and then they declared that gold was actually X price versus X minus whatever price. Um, that's why owning gold is important, and owning silver, frankly, because a good number of people can't afford to buy gold at this point. It's $1,000 an ounce. Okay, well, how do you hedge yourself? I mean, I might not have $1 million portfolio. What do I do? Well, buy silver. Silver is the poor man's gold. Copper is the poor man's silver. And I don't mean that in any kind of a derogative sense because I think there are more opportunities in silver than gold, frankly, right now. And it's personally my favorite. First is gold. But anyway, gold has held its value over thousands of years. In Jesus' time, 2,000 years ago, you could take an ounce of gold and you could buy a really nice tunic and a good pair of sandals uh, in Rome. All right, so you could look pretty nice, like out for a nice night on the town. You could look pretty good for an ounce of gold. Well, I mean that's roughly equivalent now. I mean, was $1,000, $1,000 plus $1,000 plus some change. You can buy some very nice shoes and a decent suit. It's not an Armani suit, but you could buy a very nice suit. The point is, the value of that gold over the years, I mean, thousands of years, has essentially held steady. I mean, there have been fluctuations over time, but essentially, but not huge fluctuations. The value of it essentially is held. The fluctuations are in currencies. You know, so what in 1933, 34, actually up until 1971, the dollar's worth 1/35th an ounce of gold, all right, or $35 an ounce. Well, now, what's it worth? Well over $1,000 an ounce. What does that tell you? If gold holds steady over thousands of years, what that means is the value of the dollar is actually decreasing. It's not that gold is rising in price or that silver is rising in price. It is that the currency is diminishing relative to gold and silver. A good friend of mine named Bo from Sweden actually helped me understand this concept that it's not so important how much gold is translated to dollars. It's much more important how much a dollar is translated into gold because gold is real value and gold is God's money. Anyway, till next time.